Hello everybody. Welcome to part 4 of the series Fluoroquinolone Toxicity Induced Mast Cell Activation Syndrome. If you are floxed and have mast cell activation syndrome, this video could change your life. But just to get it out of the way, I have to say this video is based on my experience and it is for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a doctor and I am not here to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any illness or disorder. Please work with your healthcare provider to do so. Okay, most people that are floxed embark on some sort of treatment protocol. Please note, there is no test to identify fluoroquinolone toxicity. There is no standard treatment protocol, and there is no cure. People that are suffering from fluoroquinolone toxicity usually determine their treatment protocol by researching the syndrome and learning from other floxy successes and failures. Conversely, with mast cell activation syndrome, there is actually a general treatment protocol. As I stated in previous videos, there is testing, but it's useless, and there's no cure. This video will be different from others because typically you'll see information just for fluoroquinolone toxicity, and then you'll see information just for mast cell. This video is going to combine the two together and show how I've survived with both. Sometimes there are things you can do when you're floxed, but not when you have mast cell activation, and vice versa. I wish I had these tips and tricks when I first got sick. I learned all of this the hard way, through trial and error, through meeting with so many different doctors, and through research. So number 1, diet and work on your gut health. I'm going to have to do a series just on diet, but for now I'll say follow a low histamine diet. You may also need to learn about salicylates, oxalates, lectins, etc., but for now, let's just keep it simple-ish with a quick overview. First and foremost, anything fermented or cooked for a long time is out if you have mast cell. Fermentation increases oxalic acid, which is oxalates, and cooking for a long time increases histamine. Bone broth. Floxies like to drink bone broth, which has great benefits. However, it is usually not well tolerated by people that have mast cell activation syndrome because of oxalates and histamine. Collagen and gelatin. Floxies also like to use collagen. I'm just adding gelatin in here because they have the same effect on someone that has mast cell. Collagen and gelatin can generate oxalates. That's because they are high in an amino acid called hydroxyproline. Hydroxyproline can get converted to oxalates in your body, particularly if you're deficient in vitamin B6, which most floxies are. Kombucha. I know this is used often for a probiotic effect. However, kombucha is usually made with black or green tea, which you should not have if you're floxed because they usually contain fluoride. For mast cell, this falls under oxalates and very high histamine again. Celery juice. This is very good if you've been floxed, but bad if you have mast cell. Celery is very high in oxalates, so if you have a 16-ounce glass of celery juice, that's like an entire head of celery, so you can imagine the oxalate load on one glass of celery juice. And why do we care about oxalates anyway? It's because oxalates usually generate really bad joint pain, among a bunch of other things. I'm gonna have to do a video for that too. Here are some other food tips. Short cooking time. Pressure cookers are good. Don't eat leftovers. Freeze them, but do not leave them in the refrigerator. Avoid gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, and corn if you can. If you have mast cell activation syndrome and you're looking for really good food lists to follow, please go to Mast Cell 360. They have a phenomenal list which details high histamine, oxalates, lectins, salicylates, the whole 9 yards. Also, Dr. Becky Campbell has a histamine guide as well. They're on both their websites as free downloads. And then finally, I use an app called Intolerances where I can look up all of the histamine and salicylates and stuff like that. 2. Avoid triggers of mast cell not related to food, like avoiding temperature extremes, mold, emotional stress, insect bites, chemicals in personal products, medications that liberate histamine, sodium benzoate, which is a common food preservative, airborne chemicals, smoke, heavy metals, and anesthetics. Here's another crossover. If you're suffering from fluoroquinolone toxicity, benzos are a no-no. But for mast cell, Ativan or lorazepam is often used as a mast cell stabilizer. Here's another example. Proton pump inhibitors and beta blockers are usually well tolerated for those with mast cell, but if you're suffering from fluoroquinolone toxicity, that's a no-no because most of them contain fluoride. 3. Stabilize mast cell mediator release of histamine with quercetin and vitamin C. Every functional medicine doctor, every naturopath I've seen has wanted me to take quercetin. I have tried it in so many forms, so many times, and I just cannot tolerate. However, it's in this video because it has been recommended to me by every single doctor, and if you do the research, quercetin is extremely powerful. I just can't take it. I just hope you have better luck with it than me. Now for vitamin C, many people with mast cell also can't take vitamin C. This is another one I've been very unsuccessful with. However, if you can't tolerate vitamin C, you can use camu powder. I use the Navitus brand, so I get my vitamin C from that instead of a vitamin C supplement. 4. Use H1 and H2 blockers every 12 hours. I'll get into the medications in another video. Also, try to block and reduce the nighttime histamine release. This is often called the histamine dump overnight. Many people do this by taking ketotifen at night if they can tolerate it. 5. Treat any existing infections to help your body heal and reduce mast cell triggers. This is a tough one for people that are super sensitive and or have compromised detox pathways. Work with your doctors to do this. 6. Identify and remove toxins and allergens in personal care products and household cleaners, etc. Avoid the word fragrance in the ingredient list. 7. Take helpful nutrients and herbs. Nutrients like alpha-lipoic acid, vitamin C, selenium, B6, etc. Most of those sounded okay, right? Except if you are suffering from fluoroquinolone toxicity, you cannot take synthetic B6. But if you have mast cell, it is always recommended. I have had to have this discussion so many times with mast cell doctors. Herbs like Nigella sativa, turmeric, ginger, etc. 8. Get into a routine and stick to it to help regulate your body's cycles. 9. Reduce stress. Yeah, that's easier said than done, right? Stress can activate your mast cells and cause them to release mediators like histamine. Reducing stress is important for anyone living with mast cell. Reducing stress is important for anyone living with a chronic illness in general. But if you have mast cell and you are stressed out, you know that it completely wrecks you. So, I think I'm going to have to wrap it up there. Hope this video helped you learn about fluoroquinolone toxicity syndrome protocols and mast cell protocols, combine the two and show the differences. Because like I said, there are things you can do when you have mast cell that you can't when you're floxed and vice versa. That's all I got for now. Thank you, everybody. What are oxalates and why do we care about them? Oxalates, also known as oxalic acid, are naturally occurring compounds in plants. You eat them in food and your body makes them as well. But because oxalates can combine or bind with calcium or other minerals like magnesium, they can affect the body in several ways, including kidney stones, mineral deficiencies leading to osteoporosis, oxalosis, which is an excess buildup in the body's tissues and organs. This can cause bone disease, anemia, heart and eye problems, etc. Oxalates can cause pain in the joints, muscles, intestines, eyes, and more. They can also cause headaches, urinary pain, genital irritation, anxiety, sleep problems, weakness, and burning feet. Oxalates can accumulate in the connective tissue of the musculoskeletal system, causing symptoms like vulvar pain and carpal tunnel. What does that also sound like? A lot of those symptoms sound like floxing.